We are here to assess the microwave radiation in this particular house that we are measuring. So I'm using a meter here. It's called acoustic meter, which eventually to help to detect microwave radiation coming from mobile phone, coming from GPS, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth devices. Yeah. So now you can see that from the external environment, here we can see that at this level, at ground level, we are showing average power density about close to about 20 over. According to the German Building Biology Institute, a level of 10 and below is considered good. And for bioinitiative working group, anything that's 5 and below is considered good. So external here, we are seeing it's not a very high level of radiation. Yeah. So for the peak electric field here, we are talking about at the level of 0.06 or below. But in this building, it's on slightly on the higher side. But overall, it is not a very high radiation. Okay, now we'll go inside to see what's the radiation level in the house. You can see here there's a very significant difference from outside. You can see that right now I cannot register anything in my meter here. It's less than 1 microwatt per meter square, which is very low and very good in terms of the level of microwave radiation. As far as peak is concerned, you can see that actually it's green, so it's an excellent house. In this house, I have to say that actually they have made a lot of effort in reducing the Wi-Fi in their home by cabling it. That's why you can actually see such a low levels of radiation. Yeah. Now we are moving into the kitchen area just to check on the microwave as well as the induction cooker. Yeah. So I have here a microwave. You can see that once I click the start here, you can see this is a very extremely high levels of radiation coming from a microwave. Even at a far distance here, you can still, yeah. So a microwave essentially has the same, operate the same wavelength as a typical like Wi-Fi or GPS signals. So now I show you another form of radiation that's coming from induction cooker. You can see that it's very high registering in terms of the magnetic field, but in terms of electric field there is none. But this high level of magnetic field is enough to actually cause some hazardous in terms of the health. But it will come down very quickly as you move away from the induction cooker. So the key thing is to move away, and the best option is actually to use a gas stove. Yeah. Now I'm moving from the level 1 to the level 2 of the house. You can still see that this is it's starting to pick up some levels of the radiation from the peak level. But the overall power density of the meter is still less than 1. So now actually we are filming in front of the room itself. You can see that actually it's very low, very similar to what we see downstairs. Very healthy level of less than 1 microvolts per meter square as well as around 0.06. This is absolutely in line with the guideline. Yeah. So I would like to let you see the effect with the curtain being removed. This is actually a very high level of radiation coming from external. You can see that it's already above 10 microwatts per meter square, and the peak can go up to about 0.5. So it's considered very high and hazardous for prolonged exposure. So with this shielding fabric, you can see that right now it's able to bring the level down to a very good healthy level. Yeah. Now you can see that from the other building itself, the white building over the other side, there's actually a few cell phone tower, or we call it a mobile phone sector antennas. And I think over at the other side of it, there's also a few of them. So actually they all converge and being radiated into this room. So that is why we are registering a high level of radiation over here without the shielding fabric's protection. Pretty low.
So sleeping there is okay?
Yeah, it's pretty low. Sleeping here is fine with the curtain drawn, yeah. But for a prolonged period of playing or staying here, it's a little bit high, yeah. So now we are at the terrace outdoor. facing the cell phone tower. You can see that it's extremely high in terms of the average power density as well as the peak voltage here. This is very bad for the health for a very prolonged time.
So Max, what would you recommend to a lacquer in a house like this?
For externals, clearly we cannot put out the shielding fabric and things like that. But as far as internal is concerned, there are actually solutions that's available in the market. For example, some of the most practical one is the shielding fabric can be used as a canopy or as a curtain. For external wise here, I'll say that try to keep the length of the time staying here as short as possible, especially with the kids playing around in this kind of high radiation stuff. Try to limit the stay over here. Yeah. So this will be my recommendation. As far as indoor is concerned, radiation that comes from Wi-Fi, try to cable it rather than actually activating the Wi-Fi 24/7 all the time. So these are the few recommendations that I can give. Okay, I'm showing you the microwave radiation coming out from mobile phone. Now my phone is in airplane mode. You can see here in this logo, it's in airplane mode. You can see that the meter doesn't really detect much of the radiation. Okay, now I will switch on to the normal mode that everybody uses. Disable the airplane mode. You can see that immediately the meter registers a very high peak signal. This is actually the levels of radiation that actually we receive every time we put it close to our ear. I would like to bring to your attention that in a typical phone there are several antennas. So I'll show you that when you are not using it, one tip is that try to deactivate your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi when you're not using it, because these are just add-on to the level of radiation that you can see that right now if the Bluetooth is being activated, you can hear this noise. Yeah. So once I deactivate the Bluetooth, so good tips for everybody to know is that when you're not using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, please keep it off. Yeah, just leave your mobile phone signal on. This will limit the exposure level of radiation to yourself. Yeah.